for Crit here with our review of the Baked Potato Games game, Weird Things Humans Search For. I don't know if you knew this, but there's a lot of weird things that humans search for, specifically on the internet. Could be Google, could be Bing, could be
All right, let's be honest. Bing.
Yeah, I'm a heavy Bing user. I'm being sponsored by Microsoft, I have to say that. This game is all about that. It comes with a deck of these cards. This many. It's a pretty big deck. And every card has one start of a search query.
Right. If you've ever typed in something like Google and be like, how do I, and it fills in the rest, that's pretty much what this is.
Right. It looks at those automatic suggestions that come up, and each card lists the top results in order. And you're trying to guess as a team which one is going to come up. So one player is sort of the moderator / judge who stands to the side and reads it while everybody else is trying to guess. And you're not just writing down whatever you can think of. Specifically, you're putting first a main answer and then a bonus answer. Your main answer is worth more points, so it's one you're more confident in, and it's worth double if it's actually the first result, so the most popular that's come up. I don't know, presumably this is circa 2018 or 2017, so, you know, of course these results could change rapidly as time goes on, but for now you're going by the mercy of the cards.
And do something different, we're actually going to show an example by doing one right now.
Let's do it. So our prompt, which neither of us have looked at, to be fair.
Yeah, it took us actually a couple tries to make sure we lined it up so we didn't see.
Is why do Americans ...
All right.
So let's try and write this down. All right, I've got mine. Want to read?
Let me technically finish. Okay, yeah. So we'll read. What are your two?
All right. So for my main one, I had why do Americans carry guns? We like guns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, should I do my other one now
Yeah,
too?
I thought
my bonus one I did, why do Americans get fat? I thought the two most common stereotypes of Americans.
My first one was, why do Americans eat so much?
Okay.
My second one was, why do Americans smell so bad?
All right.
Because I feel like every other nationality always thinks everyone else smells bad.
So let's see. We look at the card now. First result is celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I guess, see, this is the bubble. We're Americans. We also had love guns. That was number 2.
Okay.
So you can be the judge of how similar or not you think the answers are. Celebrate Halloween. Refrigerate eggs. I don't see any of our other ones on here.
Eat so much.
Oh,
I got that
eat so much.
exactly.
You did just barely. That was the final option on the card. So you would get 1 point for, or 2 points for eat so much, and no, there's nothing about smells on there. I think I would probably get the 2 points for love guns. It's pretty
right,
close.
which actually brings up one of the problems that we've noticed is that you can put something like, does that count? Because,
like I said, it's kind of at your discretion how lenient you want to be with people's answers, but that's the way the game plays. You're supposed to play for 5 rounds. You could, of course, play as long as you want, and you have a little score pad to write down your points. It goes up to 20 players, according to the box, partially because you can play in teams. So you can
fun
discuss.
enough though. Only 4 pencils.
Only comes with 4 pencils and 1 pad of paper that you got to split off and give to people. This is one game I know we've had debates over markers versus pencils that we could talk about another time.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely a game where it would have been great to have some dry erase in there, but I can understand if you're going for up to 20 people, that raises the cost a lot, and this is a very simple party game, so you want to keep that down. Would have been cool to have a few more pencils in there, though.
This is time for that fight's for discussion for another time.
Another time. But that's the way it plays. Like I said, it's very simple. This is something, if you're familiar with the Jackbox party games, this feels like it would fit right in with those, or even something like kind of Cards Against Humanity-esque. There is some crudeness. It definitely has, like, you know, because they're taking the real results, there could be adults-only answers in there.
Right, but I do feel it's not as crude as maybe when you like Cards Against Humanity goes like full in.
It's not trying to shock you.
And unlike the Jackbox games, I feel like all the ones I can think of Jackbox games, you vote. Or there's a thumbs up if someone says something funny or something like that.
Yeah, no, there's not really an element of creativity in this. It really is all about how well do you know humans. I mean, that's what it is. And it can be hard, too. Like,
no, mostly when we
got
played,
them all wrong.
I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 per
round
of someone having something right. And that's considering like when we had 10 people playing, I think it was. So that's 20 possible guesses.
We had
with
a
only
fairly
like,
large group. It was at least 7 or 8 people, and so it may, part of it maybe is playing a while and kind of getting into the mindset of these, but it can be kind of tough in that way. One thing that I think almost would be great for these is even beyond just being a game. First of all, you could easily try to come up with some kind of variants using this format.
Right.
Even just like having these in your wallet or whatever, like at a party, it's almost just like an interesting conversation starter.
we're that boring.
Like it's kind of, hey, come over here. You ever think about Google searches? But it is kind of interesting to think about it. So I do think it's a cool concept for a game. Ultimately, doesn't totally come together. It's a little shallow.
Because also I think the way it works, as we said, it could be outdated in something. This might actually be better as something as an app.
Yeah, or something like that.
Where it could maybe update itself, or at the very least somehow reward in a weird way. But it's definitely an interesting, I mean, because it's a party game like that, you can be a lot more lenient with the rules, as we've said with all these suggestions, to maybe make it fit your group or not.
Let's get into the crits and misses for weird things humans search for. On the crit side, it's a goofy party game that if you're with the right group of people will definitely make you laugh at some of the weird results that come up. Because it's team-based and all your turns are simultaneous, you can easily play with a large number of people, so if you need something to fit a party of, say, 20, this one may work out for you.
And because it's one of those light games, you can pretty much play as many rounds as you so choose.
You could easily play the game with different variants because the cards are so flexible, even, as we said, using it as maybe a conversation starter, just shuffling through out of interest and curiosity to see what these results are.
Now let's bring up the result for the misses. While we could debate on what is better, pencils or dry erase markers, we did feel that there were a limited number of writing utensils included in the game box.
Considering how many players this could play up to and how many questions there are, the amount of pencils and paper in there is a little disappointing.
And finally, you probably could just play this by taking out your smartphone and typing in that first part into your Google search bar.
Honestly, that's the bottom line for me is this is a game you don't need to buy to play. Although you do have the comfort of the fixed results on the cards, I suppose, if that makes you feel better.
Overall, while we did have some very good chuckles while playing, we did feel the game didn't really reward players for being creative, as well as not really going too far maybe in some of the weird search results that might come up.
Yeah, it's something that, if you can find it for a decent price and you have a friend who likes these kinds of party games, but maybe you've played Cards Against Humanity a million times, this will throw something fresh into the mix. But I feel like in terms of this genre, there are so many better options out there, even just those Jackbox games like we mentioned, or something like Fun Employed, or even Cards Against Humanity has its pluses against this game. But for what it is, you'll have some fun with it. It's okay. Just doesn't really break the mold and do anything new or interesting with a party game format.
But hey, if you're searching for some good board game stuff, you can subscribe here and hear more reviews as well as news videos and maybe some Kickstarter updates.
Yeah, maybe you found us on Google or Bing or Yahooligans. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on weird things humans search for. Otherwise, that's our review for it from Big Potato Games. It should be available right now. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will, and hopefully this video wasn't a weird thing that you searched for.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more board game content. Every little bit helps.
Please, we gotta eat.